All right, good morning from the National Weather Service in Raleigh, North Carolina. My name is Aaron Swiggett, meteorologist here at the office, and I will be providing the routine weekly briefing for Central North Carolina. And today we'll be covering the period Thursday, today, March 28th, through Wednesday, April 3rd. All right, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at the new drought update. Now, keep in mind, this doesn't include any of the rain that fell during yesterday or even into this morning, so keep that in mind. But for the most part, status quo. Not a huge amount of changes across the area for the most part. Really don't have any moderate drought really within Central North Carolina, except a small patch out in Eastern North Carolina and a little area of some abnormally dry across the coastal plains and eastern sandhills. As you can kind of see here with the footprint of the rainfall that occurred here on this next slide, the past 48 hours of rainfall, we had quite a large swath of rain that was anywhere between ½ an inch to maybe up to 2.5 inches, stretching from maybe the south part of the Charlotte metro area up through the Triangle and to portions of the northern coastal plain and into southern Virginia. And then elsewhere, very splotchy and streaky areas of some higher rainfall totals within maybe between ½ an inch and an inch, with some locally higher amounts across the southern Pines area of maybe close to 3 inches or 3.5 inches. But overall, a prolonged rainfall event for the most part occurring through beginning yesterday and through early this morning. But for the most part, the rainfall totals were manageable, so and occurred over a long enough period of time and had brief lulls in between them where flooding wasn't too much of a concern. There are some river points that have been in flood this morning, including Bynum out in the Chatham County area. And then we're watching a couple different areas out across central and eastern North Carolina to see how the rainfall progresses downstream there. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the upcoming weather patterns. Since we talked about what has happened, let's talk about what is going to happen. So for today, a lot of the rainfall, that's especially the heavy rainfall, has started to move off the coast, and we're left with some very light light rainfall across eastern North Carolina this morning, and that'll continue to move off the coast and out of the area by early afternoon, so within the next few hours. And then as we approach into the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll have an area of high pressure that kind of migrates through the southeast and over top of the Carolinas into the Georgia area and then off the coast by Saturday. And that will promote warm southerly flow on the left side of this high pressure system. So we'll start to be dry and warming conditions. We'll have conditions warming into the 70s to even low 80s this weekend with dry conditions. So sounds like a good weekend. There should be some periods of clouds throughout the day, but for the most part, well above normal temperatures and dry conditions. So not much more you can ask for on a weekend when it comes to March. Attention turns to our next system that approaches Tuesday into Wednesday. A lot of uncertainty regarding this system here, but that will be the system we'll be looking out to watch. There could be some scattered showers and thunderstorms ahead of this front on Tuesday, and then a chance for some storms, perhaps some severe potential as that front actually moves through the area sometime between Tuesday and Wednesday. So we're watching that one closely, and we'll make sure to provide any updates as details become a little bit more clear. With that being said, really not a whole lot of risk with any kind of confidence of any severe risk. So we'll move on from this slide here for the next 7 days. And then forecasted rainfall totals really is today. So this was from this upper left-hand panel here. That is from basically 8 a.m. this morning. So a lot of the heavier rainfall confined to eastern North Carolina today. So a lot of that has already started to move out of the area. And you can see from the rest of these panels here that central North Carolina largely remains dry. And with those dry conditions, not really expecting any flooding conditions as well for the next this is 7 days, sorry about that. That should be 3 days. And let's go ahead and take a quick look at the 8 to 14 day outlook here. And this is covering the period from early to mid-April. And for the most part, these temperatures may be a little off, so sorry about that. So please ignore the temperatures down there at the bottom. But these graphics here, basically near normal temperatures there, favoring close to normal temperatures through that early to mid-April there. And for the most part, very similar for precipitation chances, maybe some heavier rainfall or leaning more towards above normal rainfall down across the southeast and into Florida. But as far as central North Carolina is concerned, mostly expecting near normal rainfall during that time. And a quick look at the graphical hazardous weather outlook here in the little chiclets. I tried to break it down here a little bit for you guys so you can kind of see the different types of areas. So this section here, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, mostly just dry and breezy, and with that brings a little bit of wind concern and a little bit of fire weather concern. But for the most part, that's mostly just the meteorological conditions. Given the widespread rainfall, there's a question on how much the soils are going to dry out to lead to any kind of fire weather concern. So just keep in mind that that's just the meteorological conditions of dry and breezy conditions. And then attention turns again to our next system Tuesday into Wednesday there, and limited risk there at this time. And for the most part, that's all I have for you guys today. So just a quick little roundup. Light rain's moving out by early this afternoon. Dry conditions and warming conditions into the weekend with temperatures you can see across the bottom for at least the Raleigh area warming up into the low 80s Sunday into Monday. And then our next system approaches the area Tuesday into Wednesday, which would bring a chance for some showers, storms ahead of a cold front, and maybe the potential for severe if some things line up. So we'll keep an eye on that. Flood watch does continue to remain in effect for the coastal plain through 8 p.m. And there is a potential for some patchy frost, mainly across the North Carolina, Piedmont, and Sand Hills tonight. So if you have any sensitive plants for that, keep a lookout for any headlines that will come in, or if you're being a little bit more proactive, you can bring those in tonight to prevent that risk there. And with that, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining me. I will stop the recording here in a second, and we'll have a chance to answer any questions. But if not, feel free to hop off and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on Monday.